Hello. This is a summary of the Duane Shinn 52-week crash course that I just recently completed. This course took me 3 years and 3 months to finish, and perhaps you're wondering why it took that long when it's only entitled a 52-week or 1-year crash course. Well, there's a few reasons why. Number one, I started in playing the piano as a complete beginner. I started this course really as a beginner piano player. Couldn't read music. I never played the piano as a child, and I basically picked it up the instrument in my 40s. Number two, I work full time. I have a family, so obviously I'm not able to practice to the degree that I would like to. And number three, when I ordered the material, they told me in the office, Duane's office told me that it's actually 3 years of material in the 52-week crash course. So for those reasons, it took me 3 years, or just a little over 3 years. Can it be done in less than 3 years? Can it be done in 1 year? I think so. And that would deal with who really is this course for? And that might be a question people have. Who is the 52-week crash course for? Well, number one, it's for a complete beginner, that's for sure, because it's benefited me as a complete beginner. But I could also see how it could benefit more experienced players, and it certainly wouldn't take them as long to complete the course as it took me. What do I mean by more experienced players? Well, I have a pianist in my church that she's remarkable. She can play anything that we put in front of her that's written. I mean, she could open up the hymnal and play any song in tempo with articulation, and it's great to have a piano player like that in church. And you can put various worship scores in front of her and she can just read it and play it. She does really good at that. But she's limited in that she can't play anything beyond what's written. And her and I would talk, and I would show her things that I was learning, and she was impressed. And she said, "How do you do that? What are you doing?" I just do a simple run. And she says, "I've never practiced runs before." So for someone like her that already knows how to read music and has spent a lifetime playing the piano, I think she would benefit from the 52-week crash course. She would not have to spend much time. She would not have to spend any time learning how to read music, and she can focus on just the arranging techniques that Duane is teaching, and I'm sure she could probably learn them a lot faster than I learned them because her fingers are already used to moving the way a pianist's fingers should move. So I think she would probably benefit from this course. Maybe Duane has another course that would be better suited for her. I don't know. But I do believe if someone just gave her the 52-week crash course and she went through it, she probably would complete it in a year or less, and she would be a much better piano player as a result. So if your goal is just to read music, beautiful scores that are written, and play what's written, whatever genre you prefer, then this course wouldn't be for you. But if you want to go beyond what's written and begin building a basic foundation for arranging music and learning techniques to play songs beyond what they're written, then this could be a course that could be helpful for you. So I think it's for the beginner and for the intermediate to advanced player, depending on your scope and what you want to accomplish. So let me just cover a couple pros and cons, or pluses and minuses in this course. A couple positive things that I think are important to mention. Number one, I really appreciate the systematic approach this course takes. It works very linearly, and you move from one stage of development to the next. It doesn't jump all over the place. Duane introduces a concept, and then he'll build on that concept, and he'll add more to it. And even the lesson books, there's 8 lesson books, they all slowly grow incrementally in what they're trying to communicate and their level of difficulty. And I like that. I like seeing things from A to Z. I like a nice, clear, linear path that's easy to follow. So it's very organized, very systematic. That's a plus. Number two, I'm looking at my notes on the ground here. Number two, the opportunity to develop that which you learn is great. So there's so many songs covered in the course. When Duane teaches you a technique, there's plenty of opportunity throughout the duration of the course by virtue of the sheer volume of songs that are covered in the course to develop that technique and the other techniques that he's covered as well. I think that's important. It's one thing to know something intellectually, but it's another thing to be able to experience it, to have an experiential encounter with it. So I'm glad that there's plenty of opportunity to develop that which is being taught. That's important. And it's important, I think, when you're doing the lessons, not to move on to the next lesson until you feel very comfortable with what's being taught in that lesson. As long as you can do it slowly and relaxed, speed, I think, will come with time. So there's plenty of opportunity to grow in your understanding of the techniques that are being taught throughout the duration of the course. And for me, some of the techniques really didn't come and get honed in until the end of the course, which is fine, as long as you understand them before you're finished and can do them. So I like the systematic approach. I like the opportunity to develop the concepts that are taught. And then I think another plus is the content itself. The content, you learn how to read music. That's important. I think you would be very limited in your musicianship if you couldn't read music. I should say I think I would be very limited in my musicianship if I couldn't read music. Other people maybe not so. But for me, I think it was important to learn how to read music. You learn about theory. Duane teaches a lot about theory as you go through the course. So that's a blessing to understand music, not just be able to read it. So to be able to look at a score and understand the key that it's in and understand the chords that are used and why they're used, what chords could work and substitute for each other, that's all important. And you learn a lot of that theory throughout the course. Every lesson, Duane is introducing, expanding your knowledge, theoretical knowledge of music. But the most important thing, I think, in the content that is important is the ability to arrange songs. He teaches you tools and techniques that you can apply to music to make it bigger, in my opinion, better, fuller sounding. And I like to think of it like a tool, a toolbox. I like to work with my hands, so I'm always doing things with wood and we've all been to the hardware store and we've seen starter toolkits. They got a few basic tools in them: hammer, crescent wrench, a few screwdrivers, some basic things, pliers. And what you'll find is with that basic toolkit, you can do a lot of little miscellaneous things around your house with it. Everyone needs those basic things in their toolkit. And as you get more advanced and want to do more complex work, you need more specialized tools. But Duane Shinn 52-week crash course gives you the basic tools that I think are important to have if you want to take what's written and begin adding to it and begin arranging it. And it gives you the ability to learn how to be creative and expressive as an artist, as a musician. So I really appreciate the arranging technique. So those are some of the positives, I think. The systematic approach, the opportunity to develop the techniques, and the content that's delivered throughout the course, both learning how to read and learning how to arrange. That's very important. A couple negatives. I think for me, the songs, I don't really particularly care for the songs. I mean, some of them were all right, and of course some were hymns, and that's what I like to play, but most of them I was not very motivated to practice and play. I felt like I had to do it, and it was more work than enjoyment for me. I had to do it because it covered the techniques. It gave me the opportunity to practice the techniques. So I didn't really care for the songs in the course. Another negative is the lack of support. What do I mean by that? Well, I look at some of these courses people are talking about online, and there's online forums where they can interact with other students. There's opportunity to even interact with the teacher and get feedback from the teacher. I can see how that can be very helpful. This course, you don't get that at all. When I first found out about this material on the adult beginners forum, Piano World, I was very excited because I said, oh wow, there's already a study group that goes along with this course. But I soon found out that it was not a very active study group with the crash course. And I'm generally someone who can do things independently, but this is tough material, and to kind of go through it without any ability to interact with anybody else can be a challenge. For me, being able to upload a few videos here and there for my friends and my family and for folk on the Piano World forum, Adult Degree Forum, that was very helpful. It gave me something to look forward to, kind of a little sense of accountability, like I don't want to move past this song until I can, polish it up a little bit. Otherwise, I might have moved past things kind of quickly in my desire to finish. So I think it would be very helpful to have other students to interact with, to talk about the progress, to track their progress. I think that would be very encouraging. You don't get that at all with the Duane Shinn 52-week crash course. So those are some of the negatives. So in conclusion, I'm very happy I finished the course. I'm very excited with what I've learned, and I feel for me it's been a very important, the most significant contributing factor to my piano playing thus far. Where I'm going to go from here now is I've got 2 other courses by Duane, his Praise and Gospel series and his Pro Secrets. The Pro Secrets is 36 techniques that are taught. You're supposed to work on 1 a month, 1 hour a day. So that's about 3 years worth of work. And I've already started that, and I'm into the first Pro Secret. It's kind of fun, hard work. But I can see it's going to pay off. And his Praise and Gospel series is, I think, 4 DVDs that are 2 hours long each, and it just goes through different arranging techniques, probably building upon what we've learned in the 52-week crash course in the context of him playing, so that's actually going to be a lot more enjoyable for me. I suspect I should be done with that this year, maybe in 2020, the Praise and Gospel series, and then after that I'll start looking at some other material that I can to learn from. So for right now, I've got enough to keep me busy. So thank you for joining me in this journey, and to whatever degree you have. If you've enjoyed watching the videos, I'm thankful for Piano World for turning me on to the Duane Shinn material. I would otherwise never have found out about it. So I'm very grateful for the Adult Beginners Forum. And I'm grateful for the people that have encouraged and gave some positive feedback along the way. That's actually very helpful and very encouraging. It gives you something to look forward to. So thank you for that. And I just hope and pray that your musical journeys will continue to move forward and you'll be blessed. Music is awesome, right? It's a great, wonderful experience. So thank you for sharing with me, and God bless as you continue in your musical journey.